Sonny Hostin and many others are upset with the joke that comedian Kill Tony made at a recent Trump rally in New York City, in which he referenced Puerto Rico as a floating island of garbage. Let's talk about it. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about Sonny Hostin of The View and many others. I would say the entire mainstream media. All of them are upset at a comedian by the name of Tony Hinchcliffe, aka Kill Tony, for his joke about Puerto Rico being a floating island of garbage. Now, my opinion about the joke, before we get into the video of him and everything, my opinion is that it wasn't a smart joke because, Tony, you got to understand, when you are speaking in this kind of platform to the entire world, you're dealing with two things: uninformed people who have no idea about Puerto Rico at all, and also the mainstream media who are going to clip you up and make you appear to be the worst guy on planet Earth, which is exactly what happened. People are really upset about what he said. I'm not saying it's smart. However, I am saying there's context here that might change your opinion if you didn't know it beforehand. Now, before I go any further, let's get to the actual joke in question. I will link to the joke and everything else in the box if you want to see it and hear it without my commentary. If you're on IG, Facebook, whatever, visit a link in the bio, go to the corresponding article on the website. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
A lot going on. Like, I don't know if you guys know this, but there's literally a floating island of garbage in the middle of the ocean right now. Yeah. I think it's called Puerto Rico. Okay. All right. Okay. We're getting there. Again, normally I don't follow the national anthem, everybody. This isn't exactly a perfect comedy setup.
So that's a joke right there. People are offended. People are really, really triggered, including Sonny Hostin, who is, I think, half Puerto Rican. Her name is Asuncion Hostin. Okay. So let's watch this. Then we're going to get into a little bit more information about Puerto Rico and the problems the island has as it refers to trash.
This Puerto Rican has something to say about the island that I love, where my family is from. Puerto Rico is trash. We are Americans, Donald Trump. Americans.
Okay, I got to pause it a few times because it is The View, and they love giving out copyrights because they don't like what I say. Now, you saying it to Donald Trump, but is Trump the one that made the joke? Because I just played the joke. That was not Donald Trump, unless my eyes are deceiving me.
We voluntarily serve disproportionately high in the military, while you have bone spurs. And we vote. Pennsylvania is home to almost 500,000 Puerto Ricans. North Carolina, 115,000. Georgia, 100,000.
Now, she's going to go through the list of how many Puerto Ricans are in each state. But my question is, why are there so many Puerto Ricans all over the mainland and not in Puerto Rico? Is there a reason for that? Can you give me an explanation for that? But I mean, look, I don't want to interrupt. We're going to get to it in a minute.
Arizona, 64,000. Wisconsin, 61,000. Michigan, 43,000. Nevada, 27,000. We vote Donald Trump. Trash.
This is what the media does. Why does he keep talking about Trump? Trump didn't say anything about it. And as a matter of fact, I think I saw a statement from the Trump campaign in which they disavowed the joke. I'll put it on the screen if I can find it, and I'll link to it in the box. But this is what they do. The View and a lot of the mainstream media have become the I Hate Trump network, the Never Trump network. That's where their money comes from. It used to be payday for them when they would bring him on as a friend. They can make more, apparently, from hating them, I guess.
And by the way, Jennifer Lopez, Ricky Martin, Bad Bunny, Luis Fonsi, and Mark Anthony have over 345 million followers on Instagram. I think you only have 26 million, since you care so much about size.
So you're going to compare all those people to one person? I don't know, man. These people are so weird. But it's, you know, I have to review these videos because people watch this stuff and they believe it. They really do.
And we don't like what was said about Puerto Rico. And we know how to take the trash out, Donald Trump. Trash that has been collecting since 2016. And that's you, Donald Trump. And finally, my fellow Puerto Ricans.
Before she gets to her address, my last pause so The View can't try to get my video.
Trash collection day is November 5th, 2024.
All right, there we go. Got the real hard face. I believe it, Sonny. I believe that you know you're a real hard one. You're gonna be a terror in the courtroom. Hey, I would not want to be on the other side. Hey, if you're the prosecutor, my boots are as good as smoked. So I don't want no smoke, Miss. What I call her, Kamala, Sonny, whatever, same thing. Anyway, let's keep on moving. This is a video about Puerto Rico and the trash problem. Now, this doesn't have any dialogue. I'm going to just read some of these headlines, okay? Some of these headlines that come up. Cleanup begins in Puerto Rico, where landfills are already filled to capacity. Puerto Rico is slipping into an environmental crisis. Puerto Rico's trash problem. Puerto Rico landfill is a problem around capacity or non-compliance. Raw sewage contaminated waters in Puerto Rico after Maria. I guess it was a hurricane back in 2017. Recyclable materials are landfilled. The island recycles less than 15% of its garbage compared to 35% on the mainland. That's from PBS.org. So is there a trash problem? It appears to be. Now, speaking about raw sewage, I'm not going to show anything crazy, but you're going to kind of get the gist of what's going on in Puerto Rico. Check this out.
Romana Castro sleeps with her 2 children on donated mattresses in this small bunk bed. She lost most of her furniture and belongings last month when several feet of raw sewage and trash flooded her cement block home in Puerto Rico's capital, San Juan.
I was asleep and I heard water running, and I said, "What is that?" And when I get up and check, I see that water is pouring in. Water was coming in from the toilet, lots and lots of black water. I didn't have time to bring anything inside.
So you see there's an issue. You see that there's an issue, and we're going to show more.
Or get anything out of the way.
The problem of contaminated water and trash literally flowing into homes in her neighborhood is decades old, and
the problem with contaminated water and trash is a problem that's decades old. So when Kill Tony says a floating out in the garbage, he's not trying to call Puerto Ricans garbage. He's talking about this problem that has been around for decades, and it's well known and it's not a secret.
Getting worse. Castro is one of 27,000 people who live in a ring of impoverished communities along the Caño de Martín Peña, or the Martin Peña Channel, a heavily polluted waterway connecting the San Juan Bay and a series of lagoons.
The water was pouring in from the shower and the toilet, and it wasn't clear water. It was completely dirty, really awful, completely black. This time it was...
So you already know what's going on. It's coming through the shower. It's coming through everywhere. Now you got a real danger, a health risk. You can't be in that kind of environment, sleeping and eating and things of this nature. It's just completely dangerous for you.
Worse than ever. People have been comparing this last flood to Hurricane Hugo. That's what it felt like.
The water is so polluted because the area has never had adequate sewer systems dating back 80 years ago when housing for industrial workers was built here. More than 3,000 homes and buildings still discharge raw sewage directly into the Martin Peña Channel. Just as damaging, people inside and outside the communities use the channel as a garbage dump.
The poverty in a place like Puerto Rico, your average American can't really fathom. They don't understand this type of poverty. This is like approaching third world type stuff, okay? We don't really have that problem here in the U.S., mainland U.S.
We've had to intervene and step in when they arrive. They bring trash and tires in the middle of the night. And at 2 a.m., who will be here to fight with them and tell them to stop?
The channel was once 400 feet wide and 10 feet deep, popular for swimming and fishing. Today, the waterway, clogged with garbage and sewage, has shrunk to 30 feet wide and 3 feet deep, and almost no one goes in it. It is a magnet for mosquitoes, potentially carrying the Zika virus at a time when 925 people on the island are confirmed to have been infected with Zika.
Now, this video is from 2016. This is an old video. 2016, they're talking about the Zika virus, all that kind of stuff, from all the raw sewage, the trash, all that on the island. Now, this goes on for a while. They talk about landfills and all that good stuff. They talk about quite a bit. The problem is capacity, compliance, everything, a lack of adequate sewer systems, all that is going on in Puerto Rico. So that's the context behind the joke. It wasn't just him saying, oh, Puerto Ricans are trash. But as I close, I want to say this. Shout out to the mainstream media who will put a story out there like this without the context. They won't tell you what's happening in Puerto Rico. They kind of want to hide that, right? a U.S. territory. It's kind of embarrassing for us to have a place like that that calls itself part of the United States. We should do more potentially to help potentially. But we don't. We just say, oh, Orange Man's bad. Donald Trump said that they're trash, which he wasn't even the guy who said the joke. And the joke was not about them. It was about the actual island and the environmental problems. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? Are you offended? Not offended? Did you know the context? Did you not know the context? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. I mean, I wasn't offended, but I knew the context. I knew about the Puerto Rico trash problems. I already reported on that before, so I knew what it was. So it never crossed my mind that he was talking about Puerto Ricans being trash. But of course, this is what the media does. They prey upon the ignorance of the average person, and they present a narrative that they know is not true, but they count on the people that they're telling it to not do any kind of fact checking or research and just take their word for it. That's how the media is every single time. And also, they don't want to talk about what's happening in Puerto Rico. They kind of want to hide that problem, right? That's seen as an embarrassment for the U.S., one of our territories with conditions, third world type conditions. It's pretty embarrassing for a first-rate country like the USA to have that happen in one of our territories. But hey, whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that is all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.